Across the vast green plains of Rohan, the wind blew fiercely, carrying the scent of war and the distant sound of horses' hooves. The kingdom was under threat, with enemies surrounding its borders, seeking to destroy it. But amid this crisis, a group of warriors emerged, led by Freya, a legendary rider of Rohan, known for her bravery and unwavering resolve. Before we dive into this epic tale, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment on which other legend you'd like to hear next. Freya was tall and imposing, her green cloak flowing over her gleaming armor, and her spear was known to strike like lightning. Riding beside her were Astrid, an archer whose arrows were said to be guided by the valor, and Alara, a skilled healer and warrior who knew the secrets of both poisons and swords. Together they formed a line of defense, determined to protect Rohan at any cost. The kingdom of Rohan had faced many dangers, but this time the threat was immense. An army of orcs and men corrupted by the dark lands of the east marched toward Helm's Deep, Rohan's most important fortress, attempting to breach its defenses and crush the people's last hope. Freya knew that if the fortress fell, Rohan would be lost. So, instead of waiting for the attack, she decided to lead her warriors in a daring confrontation on the plains, drawing the enemy forces away from the fortress. Night fell, and the sound of hooves echoed as they approached the battlefield. The orcs' shadows appeared on the horizon, their sinister presence threatening the once peaceful fields of Rohan. Freya silently assessed the terrain, aware that the kingdom's fate rested in her hands, and that there was no room for retreat. With a signal, Astrid and Alara took their positions ready for the fight. The battle was fierce and intense. Astrid, positioned on a nearby hill, fired precise arrows, piercing the enemy army and breaking their ranks. Alara, alongside Freya, advanced skillfully, her sword gleaming in the twilight as she delivered precise strikes against the orcs. Freya led with unmatched courage at the front, taking on the largest and most brutal warriors among the enemy. Her spear spun in the air, taking down anyone who dared cross her path. The battlefield became a storm of steel and courage, with the warriors' battle cries echoing across the plains. Despite being outnumbered, the women of Rohan fought with a determination that confused the enemy, thwarting every advance. The enemy army, stunned by the women's ferocity and skill, began to falter. As dawn approached and the battlefield became a mist of dust and smoke, the enemy finally began to retreat. Freya, her gaze steady, raised her spear in a victory salute, knowing her strategy had saved the fortress. The women of Rohan, weary but triumphant, gathered around her, aware that their sacrifice and bravery had secured another day of peace for the kingdom. Although the threat was not completely vanquished, the people of Rohan knew there was hope as long as their warriors stood mounted and ready for battle. If you enjoyed this epic tale of Rohan, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Until the next adventure.